Imagine a routine traffic stop spiraling into a heart-pounding clash of power, prejudice, and hidden truths where a racist cop's snap judgment lands him in a web of consequences he never saw coming. Dive into this gripping tale of justice, deception, and redemption that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Subscribe now to unlock more thrilling stories and exclusive content that unravels the complexities of human conflict. In the sweltering heat of a late August evening in the small town of Crestwood, Alabama, Officer Daniel Hargrove leaned against his patrol car, his eyes narrowing as he scanned the quiet stretch of Highway 17. Hargrove, a 15-year veteran of the Crestwood Police Department, had a reputation for being tough, unyielding, and, to those who whispered behind his back, blatantly prejudiced. His badge gleamed under the sodium streetlights, but his heart harbored a darkness that colored every interaction. Tonight, his gaze locked onto a sleek black sedan cruising just a hair above the speed limit. The driver, a black man in a crisp suit, seemed out of place in this sleepy, predominantly white town. Hargrove's gut twisted with suspicion, and not because of the car's speed, but because of the man behind the wheel. He flipped on his siren, the wail cutting through the humid air, and motioned for the sedan to pull over. The driver, Marcus Tate, complied without hesitation, his hand steady on the wheel, his expression calm but guarded. Marcus, a 38-year-old FBI agent with a decade of undercover work under his belt, was used to tense situations, but this stop felt different. He'd been driving back from a high-stakes meeting in Montgomery, his briefcase stuffed with classified documents about a local drug ring the FBI was closing in on. Hargrove approached the car, his hand resting on his holster, his voice dripping with authority. "License and registration," he barked, his eyes scanning Marcus with undisguised disdain. Marcus handed over the documents, his FBI badge tucked discreetly in his jacket pocket, hoping to avoid escalation. Hargrove, however, wasn't interested in paperwork. He saw a black man in a fancy car, and his mind raced to stereotype as a drug dealer, thief, troublemaker. "Step out of the vehicle," Hargrove ordered, his tone sharp. Marcus sighed, weighing his options. He could reveal his badge now, but years of field work taught him to play things close to the chest. He stepped out, hands raised, his tailored suit a stark contrast to Hargrove's rumpled uniform. The officer's questions grew aggressive. "Where'd you get a car like this? What's a guy like you doing out here?" Marcus answered calmly, but Hargrove wasn't listening. He patted Marcus down, finding nothing but a phone and wallet, yet his suspicion only deepened. "You're coming with me," Hargrove snapped, cuffing Marcus's wrists with unnecessary force. At the station, Marcus was booked on vague charges of suspicious behavior, his protests ignored. Hargrove smirked as he locked the cell door, convinced he'd nabbed a criminal. But Marcus wasn't rattled. He'd been in worse spots and undercover in cartel safe houses, staring down gang leaders. This was just another test of patience. He sat quietly, waiting for the right moment. Meanwhile, Hargrove bragged to his colleagues about his big catch, oblivious to the storm brewing. Back at the FBI field office in Birmingham, Marcus's absence triggered alarms. His team, led by Special Agent Laura Chen, tracked his phone to Crestwood. Chen, a no-nonsense veteran, knew Marcus's cover was airtight, but she also knew small-town cops could be unpredictable. She dispatched a team to retrieve him, her jaw tight with worry. At the station, Marcus finally spoke up, asking for a phone call. Hargrove, relishing his power, denied it, mocking Marcus's fancy accent. But the tide was turning. A fax arrived at the station, an urgent message from the FBI demanding Marcus's release. Hargrove laughed it off as a prank, tossing the paper aside. That was his first mistake. By midnight, two black SUVs rolled into Crestwood, lights flashing. Chen stormed into the station, her badge gleaming, her voice like steel. "Where's Agent Tate?" she demanded. Hargrove's smirk vanished as the room fell silent. His colleagues exchanged uneasy glances. Chen produced a warrant, her team fanning out to secure the station. Hargrove stammered, insisting it was a misunderstanding, but the fax he'd ignored was now in Chen's hands, damning evidence of his negligence. Marcus, still cuffed in his cell, stood as Chen approached, a faint smile on his lips. "Took you long enough," he said. Uncuffed, he stepped out, his presence commanding despite the hours of humiliation. But the story didn't end there. Marcus wasn't just any agent, he was leading an investigation into a corrupt network tied to Crestwood's elite, including a local judge who'd been shielding the drug ring. Hargrove, it turned out, wasn't just a prejudiced cop, he was on the judge's payroll, tipping off dealers to avoid raids. Marcus had suspected as much, which was why he hadn't revealed his badge during the stop. He wanted to see how far Hargrove would go. The arrest gave Marcus the leverage he needed. Back at the station, Chen and her team uncovered records of Hargrove's suspicious bank deposits, linking him to the judge. The twist tightened. Hargrove's own dashcam footage, which he thought would protect him, captured his racial slurs and aggressive tactics, sealing his fate. By dawn, Hargrove was in cuffs, his career in ruins, while Marcus walked free, his mission intact. But the final twist came later. Marcus, reflecting on the night, didn't gloat. He'd seen too much in his career at too many Hargroves, too many broken systems. Instead, he met with Crestwood's community leaders, sharing his story not as an FBI agent, but as a black man who'd faced the same prejudice they did. His words sparked a movement, with locals demanding reform. Hargrove's arrest became a catalyst, exposing the town's underbelly and forcing change. Marcus drove out of Crestwood the next day, his sedan gleaming under the morning sun, his briefcase heavier with purpose. He knew the fight wasn't over, and not for him, not for the town, not for the countless others still caught in the crosshairs of bias. As he emerged onto Highway 17, his phone buzzed with a new assignment, another town, another battle. But for now, Crestwood would never forget the night a suspicious black man turned out to be the one holding the keys to justice.